Welcome to Capstan Ag Systems' launch of our new operator interface. We'll go over the general use and operation of this in this video. For those of you who have prior experience with Pinpoint 3, your operational screen would have looked much like depicted here, a very basic graphical user interface. We have updated that to this new user interface as pictured here for easier operation and access to features, and we're going to review where everything is located and how it works. So first of all, you'll notice that the error bar used to be down here. We have now moved that up to the top where you see your faults up here. So right now we have a fault of no CAN GPS. This is a simulator unit with no GPS going to it. The next thing we can see is the gallon per acre box looks very similar to our old operator interface. However, we have put if you're running a rate off of your task controller, you can select this right here and it'll pull that rate off of there, or there's a rate 1, rate 2 option right here where you can toggle back and forth between two pre-selected rates. Also, your recirc button has been moved up here next to these so you can easily enable and disable your recirc button right next to the rate. Within this rate box, we've added a feed out or feedback right here that tells you what duty cycle your nozzles are at. So we've always had this graphical interface right here, but if we turn the master switch on, you can see that we now report exactly the duty cycle of those nozzles in this rate window. So it's very easy to see not only the bar graph, but the exact percentage from the home screen. We can click on that rate box. Just like always, we still have the purge valve features option in here if we want to flush our booms. We have a manual mode for increasing and decreasing the rate, and you can set a rate 1 and rate 2 to toggle back and forth between. So all of those features are the same in the pop-out window as they have been in the past. Self-test speed is in the middle. Self-test speed operates like it always has. Over here we have our pressure control feedback. So right now we have a target pressure 1 of 40. So you can see we've added a quick toggle between a pressure 1 and a pressure 2. So we have a pressure 1 set to 40 psi. It'll also now give you a live feedback on what your pump PWM percentage is. And just like with rate, we can open this up, and if I wanted P1 to be 60 psi, I could set that to 60 psi now. And you can see the pump is now increasing the duty cycle trying to hit that new target pressure. So we can see that live pump feedback right here. Now it'll never hit that pressure because this is not a live pump. It is just a simulator. So I can set that back to 40, and then that pump PWM will stop climbing just like it would on a real sprayer. So also included with that, we have a pump on off switch right here. So we can quickly turn our pump on and off right from the screen. You can also, if you have switches in the cab to enable or disable your pump, you can still certainly use those switches as well. Another new feature over here is your acre counters are pretty much the same as what they always have been, but we have added a field down here, which is acres to empty, just to give you a quick calculation. So that takes the target rate up here and divides it by, or takes the number of gallons left in the tank divided by the target rate and tells you how many more acres you can spray until you're empty. So you can see if I select a 15 gallon per acre rate, that area to empty goes down. So it just gives you a quick indicator of when you might need to schedule your fill up again. Also, we've incorporated a feature on here to turn the turn compensation on off right from the home screen. So that disables the turn compensation, that enables the turn compensation. And we have put quick access to the key fob. So this is either for using the Bluetooth app or for using the handheld key fob that comes with each kit. So you can enable and disable your key fob right from the home screen now. So that's a nice quick access feature. Over here under gallons, this menu is pretty much unchanged. You can set your tank capacity, and we've got the counters in there to operate as normal, custom alarm thresholds, however you want to do that. And down here, instead of the profiles being locked down here at the bottom of the screen like the old screen, we now have several different profiles that you can, 4 different profiles you can set up in your nozzle setup and then choose from those while you're spraying in your job. So an example of that would be if you had your master switch on and spraying and you wanted to run a wheel track profile where you put more flow out in the wheel track of the sprayer, so we could quickly toggle to a wheel track profile or a main boom profile where we're running the same rate across the boom. So quick and easy access to all of your boom profile features like you've had in the past. Also, this box over here, right now when it says custom, it gets the tip size from what's programmed into this profile. So if I go into the wrench and go into boom nozzle and nozzle setup, I can see that this tip size right here is programmed to be a number 10. So what that means is whenever the pinpoint is trying to figure out how much flow it is in this boom profile, it's calculating that based off of a number 10 tip because it's getting a custom tip assigned to this profile. The other way we can do that is if you don't want to use the tip size that's in this profile, we can just hit this menu right here and we can say, well, I actually have an 05 nozzle on my sprayer. So now instead of using the tip from this profile, it's going to use this tip size that is in this quick access menu right here. So you can see we can turn that on, and obviously we went from a 10 to a 5, so the duty cycle is twice as high as it used to be because it's got a much smaller tip on it than it used to now. So anyways, set up your profiles just as you have in the past. You have this custom or nozzle selection box over here to use. One other thing that I should point out is when I turn this master switch on, you can see that we have several boom switch options available down here. So, and I can scroll over and you can see that there's up to 18 section switches available, and this just toggles them left to right. So right now we have incorporated this as a new feature where we have a master on off right here. Now, if you have a master on off on your joystick, you can still use that one. If you have boom switches in the cab, you can still use those. However, if you prefer to use an on-screen VT switch, then we now have those switches available within the Pinpoint 3 operator interface. So that's a nice feature addition to the Pinpoint there. So you can turn those on and off, and we assign those by your boom valve section on the sprayer, and you can use your master on off there as well. So a lot of nice quick access user features have been added into this home screen just to make it easier to navigate around. Another thing we've done is we have put a new diagnostics menu on here, so we can now click on this diagnostics. We can quickly see what revision of firmware is loaded on not only our VCMs but our hub. We can click Rev Info and get more information if we want to from there. Down here we have a diagnostics tray which has all of the voltages and readouts that are possible to have on the system, from the hour counter to voltages, how many task control sections we have set up, total number of nozzles it sees, GPS diagnostics, speed diagnostics, flow meter diagnostics. So anything that we're tied into on the sprayer and controlling or measuring, we have a feedback right here, so we can come in here quickly and see if everything is working correctly. We've got valve faults right here, which we can toggle through to see what's going on with those. And we have system faults down here. As you can see, no CAN GPS messages, fault code 26. So we have a really easy and quick access diagnostics menu to go along with this. In addition to that, within the boom setup, you'll see that we've limited the number of menu items. We've condensed it down to only things that we absolutely need to get this set up. And we'll go through each of these in individual videos on doing the initial setup steps for your machine. So I don't have any valves connected to this, which is why we were getting valve faults, but you can see that valve fault pop up there. And you can, another feature I should point out is it tells you how many nozzles are actually on while you're spraying. So if I turned off section 3 right here, you can see it says now we're only spraying with 52 nozzles. So that'll be a live feedback that you'll be able to see going through the field, how many active nozzles you have spraying at any point in time. So hope you enjoy the new operator interface. Please feel free to give us feedback about features and improvements, and we look forward to getting this out in the field.